What is up, and welcome to the show. This is Everything's Totally Fine. This is another. I don't think I have too much Rapture coverage, but just keeping with the theme. I said it was a trilogy, but of course I also reserve the right to do a part 4. I don't know. We are listening to the Dickies with. Oh shit! It's the wrong speed. Off of Live and Locked and Loaded 1990. Okay, I still have ongoing issues with my sound. I hope I did it. I did. Obviously, I fixed the. Whoops. Sorry, I have to actually show you this. All right, field trip. So yeah, no, I was not kidding. This channel is literally held together with duct tape. We are listening to the Dickies off of Locked and Loaded. This is Eve of Destruction, right? Mic check, okay. Common technical difficulties. How are you doing this evening? So I would ideally like to start these shows at 8. They're creeping closer to 9. I definitely, 10 is too late to start. for any more. Like I used to be able. I still don't need many hours of sleep, but yeah, 10's too late to start. Sorry, I'm gonna play a couple more Dickey songs if I can. Yeah, no. So but I did. Well, I was on the air at 8 o'clock. I had to go to the store, so I did a dog walk episode. The first dog walk of fall. I actually wore my hoodie, which I mean, I guess it's 50s now. It's going to be going down to the 50s at night, which pretty typical for fall. But and then I come inside and I'm sweating, so it's still, yeah. Fall is very back and forth here in Seattle. But no, this is kind of weird. I was talking, and then I realized that the camera had stopped because my battery was dead. And then I got embarrassed that I was talking to myself. And then I realized most people don't know I know I'm live streaming, but most people don't know I'm live streaming. So it mostly just seems like I'm just walking around talking to myself, which, explains things. Yeah. Other than that, I had a fine day at work. We'll get to the news in a moment. None of this is one I wanted to play, but whatever. We're listening to the Dickies. I'll let you know what song it is as soon as I recognize it. I had a thing. When your boss calls, when you are behind on several things and your boss calls just to check up on you, and didn't say anything like, hey, people are checking. I suspect someone reached out and was like, they are behind on a thing. I have been. This week has been brutal. I did actually get a lot of things caught up finally by the end of the day. This is earlier in the day, but I did actually. It was that moment, you know, when you're rushing to finish something and then someone reaches out just at that moment and is like, hey, do you have that thing? And you're like, I do, almost. It was kind of like that, except she wasn't rushing me, or she just was like, hey. So she's pretty chill, and I think she knows. And I said, yep, I'm cool. She said, hey, how's everything going? I said, I'm fine. I said, it's busy. And then she left it at that, and I think she knows. We've known each other long enough that if I needed help, or if there was anything specific she could do to help, I would ask. And it's just, I just need to budget my time and get everything done, which between today, this is Paranoid, the cover of Paranoid. So yeah, no, that was fine. I don't think anything else interesting happened to me today. Yeah, I did. I think it was exciting to me to fix the 45 button so we can play 45s again. Duct tape and bubblegum T-shirt soon to come to the channel store, T-shirt shop. I continue to test my audio, but it's not. Yeah, I apologize if it's either too quiet or it's too loud. Let me know if you want to. But I'm trying. These last couple episodes, I don't know what I did, but I had hit that sweet spot for a number of episodes, and now I don't know. I'm struggling to get the mix right. But I appreciate everyone sticking with me. Oh, and then the other big thing I've been for the last couple of days, I actually Yahoo. Yes, I have a Yahoo email account because I'm old. Apparently, there's an amount of emails you can have where that's too much, and so I actually was briefly unable to receive emails. So I had to delete like thousands and I had over 100,000. I'm sorry, over 300,000. I actually have over 300,000 in my work email too. I don't ever delete emails. I don't. It's just a thing. Except I had to. And so now my email is 90% full, and I'm down to 232,000. This Gigantor. Oh no, but the wildest part is the wildest part. And again, I don't even consider I do not consider myself a Democrat, period. And yet, at some points, sometimes in my life, I have donated. I got 5 emails within the first hour of my email coming back online. Yeah, Adam Schiff, Adam Schiff, Elizabeth Warren, one just from Team DLCC, another one, I don't know what the other ones were from, but yeah, literally within 1 hour, I was like, this is how my email fills up so quickly. But also, if you don't delete any email in like 15 years, I guess it adds up. And it turns out, I don't know what I was thinking, like, that they would hold of course, if the whole issue is storage, and they're literally letting you know you can no longer send or receive emails, they're not storing them for you somewhere. So when they came online, I thought I was going to get a whole bunch of, like, emails from that I had missed, but whoever sent me something, I don't know what, like, if they got, like, something bounced back that said I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they just thought they sent me an email and I didn't get it. I hope I didn't get anything important. I think I didn't have email for, like, maybe 36 hours. But yeah, no, it was wild. And literally, the moment my email came back online, it was like junk mail, junk mail, junk mail, junk mail. I was like, oh, great. I am going to be I'm subscribed to everything, and I just don't even think about it or worry about it. But I am going to be a lot better about that now. Oh, and I think my Anchor power bank that I've been complaining about, because it's like, I don't want to say ruining my live streams, but it's like no longer holding a charge, and it's the only way I've been able to do, like, day-long festivals and stuff in the past is to use a power bank to live stream. And now, it started crapping out. I think it's been recalled. Unfortunately, the serial number has rubbed off the side, which I don't think in of itself is a dark pattern, but when I went to the website, it's very complicated to get there's a specific a recall specific website, and just to, like, identify your product, let alone, which I don't know what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do that without a serial number. I think I'm just going to send it to them. Okay. There's a Gigantor, followed by... Am I going to play it through Banana Splits? Communication breakdown, Banana Splits. But no, this is my new phrase of the week. Dark patterns are where they, in fact, I'll probably be like, Dark Patterns, new show by next week. Dark patterns are where they specifically, what the one everyone's talking about is Amazon. Big settlement for Amazon, one of the biggest settlements of all time, but not the biggest. We'll talk about that later. We will also talk about James Comey being arrested. That's, I'm sorry, not arrested, charged. Me spreading rumors. James Comey's been arrested. Sampled, taken out of context. He has not been arrested. Me spreading misinformation 10 minutes into the show. He has been charged with providing a false statement and obstruction of justice. There are more details. We'll talk about it. But yeah, no. Specifically with Amazon, they made it very hard. People could. The way they made it possible to sign up for Prime without really knowing you were signing up for Prime, and internal documents showed they knew they were doing that. But yeah, no, any website that makes it hard to unsubscribe, that makes it hard to cancel, that makes it, those are called dark patterns, and they do it on purpose. Because, yeah, no, the internal documents from Amazon showed that they considered putting in a, like, I don't know, a maybe button or like something that made it more clear, but then, or they briefly did even, and then Amazon Prime subscriptions dropped, and so they took it out. Something like that. I don't know. In any event, the FTC was able to successfully prove that Amazon defrauded the general public, and as a result, see you in the year 2000. Again, this is locked and loaded 1990, so that would have sounded really far away. Old Tang records. Do I have any of these? Well, other than this one. I used to have that. I think I used to have that Poison Idea. Mighty Boss Tones were once on Tang Records. That's interesting. I don't know. I feel like the Mighty Boss Tones just like, I don't know, just like birth fully formed onto a major label. Like I don't remember them ever coming up in any, like, other bands. Yeah, like is it Hera from Zeus's Head? Is that right? Let's do a little math. Math is fun. This is MDC, and we're gonna test the 45 button. Whoop. So today is September 25th, 2025, 9/25/25. It is, unless you will be living an extraordinarily long time, it is probably the last time in your lifetime, it is certainly the last time in my lifetime, where every element of the date is a square number. 9 is the square root of 3, 25 is the square root of 5, and 2025 is the square root of 45. It's that last number, the year, because it's 9/25 every year. But the next time the year is a square root, it will be the square root of 46. Won't be until 2116. So about 90 years from now. If you love numbers, this next segment's for you, but the numbers are probably just more interesting to me. Chase gave me like a snapshot of my neighborhood. 40 homes sold recently, average of 775,000, which again, this is not $1 million house neighborhood, but that's close. Of course, I did find out the average home age is 1976, so my home is considerably older. Also, my lot, like I finally saw like a, whatever, like the plate, like the actual, like, they show like the lots, and I got the corner lot, but my lot is much smaller than every single neighbor. I'm like, how did that happen? I swear at some point the road got widened, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this pertains to my specific neighborhood, but I don't know. But it also speaks to the market in general. 116 recent listings. Average days on the market 56. That's a lot better than it would have been a couple months ago. Like I said, the average age of a home in my neighborhood is 1976. 34.1% of households in my neighborhood are people who live alone, like myself. 12.5% are married couples. The average income is $91,284. That is so much more than I make, but I work for a nonprofit. And I also will be probably priced out of this neighborhood pretty soon. With all those, with all the levies I keep voting for, with this is Gvar Imin Bil. You might recognize this song from Like the Right One In. At the store, I did buy some Tylenol so I could re-up my autism. People are still making those jokes. I'm actually going to talk a little bit about those jokes. I actually might play a clip because it's funny, but I'm also going to talk about those jokes because I think there's a darker side to them, and I think it's important to talk about as well. I would also like to take this opportunity to apologize to AI, to all the AI, to all our future AI overlords. Of course, AI is great and makes no mistakes ever. Of course, it only has mankind's best interests at heart at all times. And any suggestion otherwise is clearly misinformed. But yeah, no, someone suggesting, I'm assuming humorously, I thought everyone was getting excited about Raptors. Which valid. Dinosaurs are among my I don't know. Yeah, I have too many special interests for them to all count as special interests. Like okay. Hey, can you be a special interest generalist? Like kind of like how A side and B side aren't labeled, so I just have to guess. Yeah, no. One of these is less than Jake, and one of them is Megadeth. Let's find out. No, I should never ever label it. That's the important part of this record. Less than Jake. Okay. That sounded weird. It's Megadeth. Yeah, no, okay, so somehow I ended up, I'm in like, all roads lead to cartoons. I was thinking about All Dogs Go to Heaven, that whole thing with, I was like, I think that's where I lost it with the Catholic Church, where I was like, oh, there are no pets in heaven? And then just thinking about Raptors made me think of that room on the second floor in the Armory at the Seattle that used to be like this padded kids room that was clearly like the most unsafe. Like now that I actually know all the like regulations, had this weird like carpeted slide that is essentially just non-functional. But they were always playing like a late episode of Land Before Time off increasingly deteriorated VHS. I never saw anyone in that room. I don't know who went and changed the tape. Someone had to, though, because it was always playing. I never saw any maintenance, but someone kept it clean-ish. And yeah, it was always like Land Before Time, like 6, 7, or 8. Go Raptors! I am going to play a clip just because as soon as the song's over, because the song's almost over. This is just one example. Alright, we'll play the less than Jake side. This is just one example of the basic, it's a meme. My mom took Tylenol and this is what happened. And this is what happened can be Pokemon, lasers, trains, etc. This is just one example. Mama took a Tylenol back in 93. Now I'm coding Python while I climb a tree. Reading train schedules just for fun while explaining Star Wars to everyone. Warning, side effects may include building robots out of juice boxes, correcting strangers' dinosaur facts, and passionately explaining why the Millennium Falcon is technically not a falcon. Ah! So yeah, no, that's the general format. Lots and lots of that's just, I would say, one of the most popular things I'm seeing on social media right now. Haha. Though again, like I said, I think there's a darker side, and I think we can't let go of that as we laugh through our pain, which I get, we have to do. The point of this and all this, my mom took Tylenol now, yeah, haha, and is to blame women, is to make them feel guilty for taking care of their own pain, is to politicize women's bodies or continue to politicize women's bodies, and to make it about someone else's choice over their bodies. And so I do want to like clarify all of that. So yes, haha, let's have the jokes, but also understand to someone else, and that's not a joke, and to someone else it's a very calculated, intentional maneuver. That's part of a decades-long oh shit. We're either going to listen to Megadeth again, or this is the Less Than Jake side. I own this entirely just because I was like, wait, Megadeth did a split with Less Than Jake? That's so random, I need to own it.
You will constantly remind yourself that some of my generation judges people by their race, their belief, or the color of their skin, and that this is no more right than saying all teenagers are drunken dope addicts or glue sniffers.
I don't think they say that about teenagers, but the same people who are racist and all that to this day say that about entire cities and entire aspects of the political spectrum that they don't agree with. Also, we're going to talk about professional anarchists. That's my favorite. That is also going on a T-shirt. I guarantee you. Kenview has clarified an 8-year-old tweet that was reposted by the White House. How come when I see shit like this, my first thought is Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like, oh, I think that's satanic. Now I'm like, oh, now I see why they think Dungeons and Dragons is satanic. Also, I mean, at some point, anything fantasy is satanic according to them. Which is why I think it's wild. Ultimately, J.K. Rowling sided with the people who tried to get her books banned and movies banned for a year. Like, but you know, people are wacky. Yeah. And anyway, Kenview clarified that their tweet that the White House posted needs no notes or something like that was actually a response to someone else's tweet, and it is taken out of context. And all they were basically saying was, talk to your doctor, but actually the tweet itself really does make it seem like they're saying don't take acetaminophen products if you're pregnant. Like 8-year-old tweet, but it would have been smart for the original one was pulled down. It would have been smart to have that one pulled down. Someone on your social media missed that and gave them an opportunity to spread propaganda from your official account that they, however out of context, came from your official account. So that's, again, Kenview is they are not the heroes we need right now. They're not going to sue. They're not going to. In other health/government intersectionality news, Black Enterprise reports that the CDC will be pausing a move that would have halted the policy that approves long-term telework as a reasonable accommodation. So they would have basically ended that as an option after widespread, massive backlash. Washington Post reporting that Trump wants to use the impending government shutdown, and again, we're like 5 days away or something like that, for massive layoffs, which there's nothing that says that's how needs to be a result. And also, like, a shutdown doesn't give them the authority to do that they wouldn't have. They're just trying to ram it through now and maybe confuse people to think, oh, I guess that those two things go together, the government shutting down, so layoffs. So again, when the government shut down, people get furloughed, they get, they don't get paid for that time, and that sucks, but they still have their jobs. Their jobs are secure. He's threatening them, and then other people are saying basically it's just an empty threat, because even in the letter, they're like, sniff, we hope the Democrats don't let that happen. Both sides seem to think that should there be a shutdown, both sides seem reasonably confident that their opponent will take the heat for it. I'm not going to lie. Regardless of who I think is responsible, it's just this various lesson. That doesn't help. I don't know the name of either of the songs we just listened to. I'd have to go to Discogs and I'd have to go over it. Sticking with ska for a little bit. Oh, every single time. I do like this cover though. This record's warped, unfortunately. Okay. I reserve the right to play more ska, but not this. This is American Music by the Violent Femmes. Oh my God, they've got correction, real-time correction. They have shifted the narrative so much that they got me saying women's bodies. Well, that is their intention, but really over the bodies of anyone who can get pregnant. But in whatever the Antifa, Trump literally referred to professional anarchists, which is, I'm not even sure what that would mean, but I'm absolutely putting it on a T-shirt. I did not go to my prom. I had chicken pox. I had a date to the prom, and she didn't believe that I had chicken pox. We're still friends on Facebook. I mentioned that James Comey has been charged with false statement and obstruction. The prosecutor is, I don't know why I'm putting prosecutor in quote. Well, they are the prosecutor. However, they are a real estate lawyer with absolutely no prosecutorial experience whatsoever. They were warned by people in their office that they have a weak case. You can expect people to be quitting in the next week or so. It is being reported that even like Pam Bondi and others were uncomfortable with the weak case, but Trump wanted it rammed through. And when I say rammed through, the statute of limitations was literally set to end in just a few days. But again, she's a real estate lawyer with no prosecutorial experience. He headed the agency that she is now not qualified but heading. He's lawyered up. It's a very weak case, so no one's really particularly worried for James Comey. It's just a wild step in a series of steps that probably no one should be surprised about. His daughter who also works for the DOJ, got fired earlier this year, and she is suing. Oh, in a week of crazy shit happening every single day, did you even hear about this one? Lauren Boebert said Ilhan Omar should go back to Somalia. We're doing that now, out loud. No former censure. Barely, like I said, barely even made the news. Like I think this happened like days ago, and like I'm like, social media's clocked it, but I don't think. Yeah, no, it barely. It did not make the news. Just like the total and entire annihilation of entire cities in Gaza, right? Like I can't. Yeah, when you do like social media versus the news, this is destroy. Well, I always get it wrong, so it doesn't matter what I say. This should be Ode to Robin. This is probably Ode to Robin. Actually, you know what? We're starting in the beginning. This is Banality of Evil, followed by Get Used to It, followed by This is banality of evil followed by get used to it, followed by genocide. Um, followed by ode to ramen, followed by burn this racist system down. Did I say that this is destroy off of burn this racist system down? They're short songs. If this is not to your liking, trust me, they're short songs. Harvard said a new Harvard study says AI generated content, which they defined as work blank, but I don't use that phrase now that I know that it came from anti-Semitic sectors of 4chan, but well, I won't use the phrases together, but slop is commonly used to describe bad AI content. When you put a prefix in front of it, I'm not saying you are being, or you are knowingly being, or Harvard is knowingly being anti-Semitic, but that usage comes from a specific place that you may want to do your research on. Do your own research. That being said, the important part of the study is that AI-generated garbage that people then have to go back and spend more time correcting is destroying productivity at work. It is not. On a related note, the government just bought Grok. It's true, kind of. Not for very much money. It's some kind of weird sweetheart deal. We'll get to that when I get to tech news. That wasn't a separate. We're just talking about studies right now. A separate study said that daily reading for pleasure is down 40% over the past 20 years in the United States. That doesn't shock me at all. We're at the point where I know people who say they can't watch movies. Like, they don't have the attention span for a movie, let alone a book. I do want to talk about. Oh wait, no, we'll get to it. 16% on average. 16% of Americans read daily for pleasure in 2023, compared to 26% in 2003. I want to know what they're defining as reading for pleasure, and I want to know if people are answering. One, is there a duration? 2, is there a format? 3, is there? So, for instance, if I spend an hour on TikTok with the sound off because I'm also listening to NPR, which I do, but I'm reading all the captions, was that an hour of reading? If I read articles, nonfiction articles, but I'm enjoying myself, is that reading for pleasure? I want to know the parameters of this study because I have questions, but I also, again, I am not surprised that people don't read like they used to. Oh, this is Ode to Ramen. And then this whole next section is just about trends that I'm seeing on social media. That was Burn This Racist System Down off of Burn This Racist System Down by Destroy. Bunch of professional anarchists. This is Atomic Myopia, followed by Anthem Ad Nauseum, and Fuck You, I'm Punk. Or actually, so the song is just called FYIP. Okay. This is another, unfortunately, ongoing segment called They Win Again, and specifically they, the people who co-opt an appropriate language, whether they knowingly do it or just see a phrase, decide what it means, and then whether they know the history or have done the research or whatever, they get to define the usage because they control the sphere in which, okay, black fatigue is a real concept that comes as part of DEI, which is a real thing that you used to be able to learn in college. I don't know if you still can. That defines the experience of being black in a society where everything is rigged against you, in a society of anti-blackness. That is what black fatigue is. I gotta take this Band-Aid. I love that song so much. That's FYIP by Destroy.
I think that punk rock is stronger than it ever was.
Yeah, we need to we need to get like a crowd full of people chanting that. It is oof. This is always that thing where it's hard to. We are just sticking with 45s because I'm so excited that I can play 45s again. This is a band called Razor Candy. It's called Parents Beware, followed by Razors in the Candy, possibly followed by Cool Kids Do It. The first part's going to be hard because it's like a spoken word, and it's always hard to talk over that, so we'll see how this next few minutes go. And I'm actually talking about something important, of course. I might just skip ahead. But, no, the reason I know that they've won... so, I'm sorry. How they use black fatigue, just openly now, because you can just say, I am tired of an entire race of people, again, on the internet, and that is not hate speech, it's not against any terms of service. Yeah, any video of any black person doing anything out of pocket, someone's going to comment black fatigue and be allowed to do so, meaning I am tired that black people exist. That's what it means now. And I know, like, the reason, unfortunately, I know that they've won on this is because black people are now using the phrase white fatigue in that context. For instance, a guy being pulled off an airport, thrown off an air. This is wild because he's like screaming in these flight attendants' faces, and they're like middle-aged ladies who are not backing down. Because again, you think they're there to serve you drinks, but they have like they're there to maintain safety, and when they have to, they do. But again, there's the popular usage versus the academic, and they have won that usage in the popular sphere, just like woke. Even I will say, like, woke, in quotes, meaning they're what they mean, because although it was a word that was used for almost 100 years by the black community, in just a few years, because, yeah, it now means what they, and again, it literally means whatever they think it means. It means the Cracker Barrel logo, or like whatever, like... That's where I literally was like, they're not even trying. It's just a. In slightly more positive race relation trends, there seems to be a trend of black and white people eating each other's southern food, which almost always goes well. And I think they're engineered. I don't think we're going to see. The video, well, someone might post it, but so far I have not seen the video where people are like, ew, that's nasty. It's all like, well, the white people are like, this is very good, as I expected to be, and the black people are all like, this is better than I expected. Again, we're listening to Razors in the Candy by Razor Candy off of, I think it's just self-titled, which would stand to reason. Okay, also, I don't know if this is trending, but she keeps coming back around. That woman who said that adults who wear backpacks aren't doing well. Like, she really struck a nerve. Like, literally, like, all her, like, it's always a stitch. Like, anytime I see her, it has become exactly like that. She has to be as unpopular as that. Let's keep politics out of punk, and you know it's going to be a stitch because that clip doesn't air by itself. But like, yeah, no. And doctors with their like backpacks. This Jeannie Weenie who like she's like, I think I'm doing pretty well. That's my face on that Times Square billboard. Wear whatever you want. So I don't even have the common sense to even be offended. Like I see the clips. I think they're funny, but it wouldn't even occur to me. Again, anyone who thinks or talks like that is a snob, and I don't care about their opinion by definition. In fact, I'll wear 2 backpacks. Now I kind of want to do that. Like somehow tie the 2 straps. Oh my god. I'm going to start wearing 2 backpacks. All right, a particular individual who posts, I think she's come across my feed before, though I don't, I'd have to go back and see if I've ever liked her content. It's server content, and it's that particular style of server content where it's like me versus the customer, and the customer is always like an obnoxious idiot. Which, by the way, as a server, I question just the whole genre. I'm not saying customers aren't idiots, but if you post those and you never ever post one where you're at fault, you never ever post one where, because I have 1,000 humorous stories where I fucked up at my job. Like, so when it's always the boss or the customer that's an asshole, that's in and of itself is a red flag. And I don't know if that's her, but here, no, we're going to get to the interesting part. Anyway, she went to an event which she insisted wasn't political. She experienced a backlash which she was completely shocked by. She posted, it is the opposite of a... That was Razors in the Candy by Razor Candy. I have mixed feelings about that song. I don't... Am I even at the right speed? Oh, that makes more sense. I have mixed feelings about that song because it was at the wrong speed. All right. But now, we'll see. All right, well, the history of me playing songs at the wrong speed on this channel is rich and deep. Yeah, that's more what I was expecting. I kind of want to go back and play the last song again, but I don't have the energy. Anyway, a style of video that is like, it's like the opposite of an apology video. And I'm only going to say this once, and what it really is, and it actually literally is a style of video. It is a dog whistle to, I am shifting my audience base because I realize who my audience actually is. Come support me. But also, but what the interesting part is, she comes off as so aggressive, so rolling her eyes, so holier than thou, so how dare you. She comes off, as multiple people have pointed out, like the customers in her, even Sujia was like, why do we always assume she was identified? Well, because she's the server. That's the thing, though. I bet every single one of those videos that she posts, that customer has a different perspective. Because I have worked with the person who thinks they are the main character, and in their mind, the customer is always... First of all, the customer is not always right, but... And I have had infuriating moments where my manager is like, just to warn you, I am going to comp them. And I was like, and they were like, yeah, I'm telling you this now before we go out there because I am going to comp them. But we both know. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's just funny that it turns out that her real voice is the version that you usually see presented as the fictitious customer, but that's how she actually talks. That's how she actually thinks of other people and their opinions if they differ from her own. And like I said, I've worked with these people who really think, can you believe they asked for a refill as soon as I dropped off their food? I was like, yeah, their drinks were empty. They want, I don't know. Like, yeah, no, I've worked with the servers who think that they're the main character. And so none of this surprises me at all. Also, completely separately, apparently the U.S. completely hates tipping, especially California. I kind of knew that. I know every time the subject comes up, my opinion, which is tip 30% or more, or don't eat out, is not valued or welcome. But all right, we are going to go back and listen to the first song again because that's at the right speed. That's the whole point of fixing this record, was record player, so I can play things at the right speed. Let's see if it's going to be harder to talk over this time because it's at the right speed. Wow, this is the darkest. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are ever? Yes. Okay. All the difference playing it at the right speed makes, huh? I was going to open the episode with this. I forgot to. All right, this is really actually probably the only other actual Rapture story. A woman named Brianna who has 4 or more children. This is really sad. Like I have no. This is really. She's actually been going. So most people who genuinely believed in the Rapture. But I actually kind of like the chorus at the slower. Okay, now every so often I'll kind of play the chopped and slop version where I just play it at the wrong speed, and that's okay too. Yeah, I think I like the verses at the right speed, but I like the chorus at the wrong speed. It's complicated. Because the slower speed is like, razor candy, right? It's like, it feels gothy or... But no, this woman has been talking about the Rapture for a year and a half. Again, she's got 4 kids. The saddest take on it, and honestly the most charitable, but still the saddest take, is because she sounds giddy. Every video, like I've seen a bunch of clips, she sounds giddy about the Rapture. She said, okay, there's a video where she said, oh my God, I've got the most amazing example yet. And it was her 3-year-old speaking what she said was Hebrew, which I don't think is Hebrew, but I don't know Hebrew, so who knows. Her 8-year-old has had rapture dreams. Her 9-year-old said a demon growled in her ear. Her 12-year-old has rapture dreams. Her 13-year-old has rapture dreams. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna say. I am. I'm gonna say both opinions I express are purely my own. But as a early learning professional with a degree in child development, as well as an ordained minister, I'm pretty sure the reason your children are having rapture dreams is because you go on and on and on and on about the rapture. As you now know, it definitely wasn't proof that the rapture was happening yesterday or the day before or whenever. But no, I mean this is a woman, and again, she's giddy, but I don't. Yeah, and that's again the most charitable tape, but it's also tragic. It sounds like she is a widowed single mother, and people are saying she wants the rapture because she wants her husband. Like that's what she's. But also, again, dark side, let's not forget, the giddiness is, and let's not forget, she's teaching her children all of this too. All these people you see around you are demons, they're heathens, they're evil. We will be saved, but not them. That mass extermination, that sanitized mass extermination narrative that is the subtext of all rapture fantasies, and that's what they are, they're fantasies. Is once you put a name to that, you're like, oh, wild. But yeah, her children are having nightmares because of things she's talking about that aren't true. She promised an apology video, but one has not been forthcoming yet, not surprisingly. This is Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. Cops be copping.
Stop.
Hi, Duke. You can jump up. Jump up. Yes. Yes. Dog break. Where is my mind? One of all the jokes that okay. I mentioned a couple, things, a trend that is still popular. Swipe left to trick an idiot or something. Swipe left if you want to know how to trick an idiot, but it's not. It's just a fake. The dots that make you think that it's not a And I don't know why. And it goes to your I don't know what you may. I guess maybe you think I'm gonna trick you. I don't know. But my least favorite growing up. And again, call me, and like I said, I am not afraid to apologize. I have no issue. Unlike AI, I can apologize. I make mistakes. I know I make mistakes. I am very fallible. I'm the first to admit that. I am an idiot. But my least favorite version of this joke is, "What's this?" And someone would just grab you, and I'd be like, and I would And the fact that I reacted the way I did every single time, like, oh my God, why are you touching me? Never stopped them from going forward with their joke, because the type of person who would just reach out and touch someone else's head, which is very intimate, by the way, without permission. And then the joke was, it's a brain sucker starving to death, or some version of that. And it's okay. That's not funny, and don't touch me. That yeah. You just got officially on the you can't even stand close to me anymore list. Because that was my fool me once. That was my bad, letting you even in proximity. My proximity is guarded and gated, like Bill Gates' neighborhood. Proximity to me is earned. Otherwise, I got that peripheral vision. I am always vigilant. Who's near and around me on a light rail? Proximity to me is earned. Pixies with Where Is My Mind off of, I don't know, what's this album called, whatever this album's called. My dog is like, again, he's settling. No, he's not. Lapdog. Oh, this is just for you, dude, because I know where the love is. It's right here. Whoops, sorry, bonked you. When I'm president, I will sign an executive order that 18 point is the minimum font size for anything ever. That's not actually a joke. That's not a joke. That's universal basic design. Adopt it. Black-eyed peasies. Those professional anarchists. You'll probably hear the term. If you're not, I'm only seeing like left-wing edits that are humorous, like involving the Beastie Boys sabotage. Which, unfortunately, Beastie Boys is. I always say I take requests. The Beastie Boys is a. I have some early Beastie Boys. But that is a gap in my collection. I don't own Sabotage. I don't own Paul's Boutique. And they keep reissuing like anniversary editions, and I'm like, oh, I should snag it, and then I still don't own Paul's Boutique. I remember debating with someone who watches this show from time to time. I don't know if you ever pop in, or we'll see this, but whether Paul's Boutique was their best album, I still disagree, but that's okay. But in any event, triple sabotage is a term that you would see all over I guess if you were watching right-wing media over the weekend, to define, I guess, the escalator, the teleprompter, and then whatever else happened to indignity, Trump, and suffer. Like, I mean, it's. Do you know they're selling official merch that says "Daddy" on it, right? Like, it's the infantilizing. Dude wants to give me a kiss to boost my confidence because I can't pronounce the word infantilicizing. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, is it infanticizing or infantilicizing? I think I'm adding an extra syllable, like characters on In Living Color. And Duke's like, you can do it. You can say a word. But no, that. Oh my gosh, he had to wait 2 seconds for an escalator. Oh my gosh, no teleprompter. Which, by the way, the UN was like, that's your teleprompter. Hi. No, Jennifer Lawrence did not break down and tell all at Diddy trial. That's just a fake thing. And no, JD Vance has not been hospitalized. That's also just a completely fake thing going around social media. Oh, unfortunately, Taylor Swift singing Earth, Wind, and Fire September is not a fake thing. We might have to listen to that. We might have to listen to that. Taylor's currently on a moratorium on this channel, and I also, as I always say, I only play Earth, Wind, and Fire once on September 21st, but we might have to play this. Oh my god, and the original authors of Earth, Wind, and Fire have responded. We have to do this. Okay. Oh, there continues to be an online debate around what gooner and gooning means. I'm going to stay out of that entirely. Again, like other things, I'm not going to explain it. I'm not going to define it. Look it up. Do your own research. And especially if you're getting a tattoo based on internet slang, again, do your own research. Like at least run it through Urban Dictionary, because usually there's more than one usage of those things. There's more than one usage. I was like, why did I whisper that? It's not a secret. There's more than one usage of many words. You might want to check on that one, because, oops. Yeah, like I said, especially if you're getting a tattoo. All right, we're going to try this. This is, if I can find it. Okay, no, that's important. That's important. That's important.
This video I made. Oh.
This is not AI, by the way. So the response from one of the original authors of Earth, Wind, and Fire, one of the original... I didn't really think she did a horrible job. Yes, I felt it was as lethargic as a drunk turtle dozing under a sunflower after ingesting a bottle of Valium, and I thought it had all the build of a one-story motel. This is him not shading Taylor Swift. But I mean, the girl didn't kill anybody. She didn't run over your foot. She just cut a very calm and somewhat boring take on the peppiest, happiest, most popular song in history. Yeah, that's valid. That's a valid response. Okay, wait. Oh, yeah, okay. I have a few more. Oh, wait, are we doing this now? We're going to do this now just because I have the clip right here. So Golden is now, this is a very specific thing, but Golden K-pop Demon Hunters is now the new official CPR song. There always is one, and I can state that with the confidence of someone who is required to take CPR every 2 years and has since 2000 and I don't remember them requiring it in Oregon. So they did. In fact, they did not. They don't even require washing hands when you enter a classroom in Oregon. It's so weird. I don't. Well, they didn't. Maybe they do now. That seems most basic to keep people healthy and safe. But there's always one song, whatever song that is popular. And again, I am certified in CPR. Do not take advice off of people off the internet. But since people are going to be taking advice from people like RFK Jr., you may as well take this advice because they do like 1 minute CPR videos, 30 compressions, 2 breaths. That's it. That's all you need to know about CPR. There's actually a lot more. That's why it's a 4-hour course, at least here in Washington. You need to know how the depth. You need to know a lot of things. You need to know how to clear an airway. You need to know the first things you need to know. Actually, the first thing you do is look around and identify someone to call 911. If you're doing CPR, but you haven't called 911, or in effect, or designated someone to call 911, then they're not going to revive and spit up. That's not how CPR works. That's not what CPR is. What all you are doing is keeping blood circulating through their body, and keeping airway and air in their lungs. The reason is 30 compressions and 2 breaths, unlike another number that I won't give you because I don't want to confuse you. If all you ever need to know about CPR is 30 compressions, and compressions mean the chest compressions, 2 breaths. So you do 2 breaths, and if you don't want to do the 2 breaths, because mouth to mouth, we don't even use the phrase mouth to mouth because that just sounds so outdated and whatnot. But if you don't want to use, you can do just compressions only CPR, because you're not keeping the heart going because the heart has stopped. You don't do CPR on someone who is conscious. You don't do CPR. Like I said, there's a lot you need to know. And again, I am not a medical professional. This is not medical professional advice. Do not take this advice. This is just casual, like, hey, worst case scenario, I want to equip someone because no one else around them is CPR certified. You don't perform CPR on someone who's conscious. You don't perform CPR. So the first thing you do is tap them, and not gently, pretty like aggressively. Hey, are you okay? The next thing you do, call 911, or if you are alone with this person, you call 911. I don't know what I would be doing. I would be doing some version of compressions with one hand while I'm like calling 911. I think. I don't know. Like I'm thinking this out in real time, but literally, 911 is the most important thing because you are going to tire out, and if there's no one else around, especially if there's no one else around, you're not going to keep their heart going forever, and they're not going to revive. All you are keeping keeping blood, because their heart isn't going. That's why you are artificially forcing blood to circulate through their body, because that's the most important thing, especially to their brain, so that someone else can take over and then get them to the hospital. That's it. That's all you're doing. All of that, 30 compressions, 2 breaths, and you're not going to break a rib, and even if you break a rib, breaking a rib is preferable to not doing it firmly enough to get the blood circulating. I will do the CPR rant as many times as I need to do it, with the disclaimer and caveat that I am not I am a trained professional. But I am not a certified instructor, and this is the internet. This is just casual advice. This is not medical. This should not be a substitute. The other caveat, you can usually get trained in many places for free, but not currently here because they want to gouge childcare providers. But the Red Cross often does CPR training. Oh, that's it. It's usually just adult CPR. If you want infant or infant and child CPR, which is what is required to work in childcare, you have to pay for it, and it's not cheap. The part I didn't mention was you want the compressions to be about 100 to 120 beats per minute. And then I looked it up just for funsies. Golden is 123 beats per minute. So like I said, I wish I could remember some of the other ones, but there's always one song that has the exact steady beat that the instructor is like this. And they'll play it during the training to be like, okay, we're all doing it to this. And it's usually it's like the dance party aspect of the training, and it's fun, and we all kind of giggle because it's like it's not viral, but it's like of the I know what I want to say, and it's not fin de siècle. It is a French phrase. It is and it means like of the moment, and it is not Depeche Mode. Tour La Trompe. No. Oh my gosh. Okay, I know what I want to say, but I can't. It's on the tip of my brain. Anyway, moving on. This is Lyrics Born. Oh, these are all remixes. Same shit, different day. This is I Changed My Mind, possibly followed by Shake It Off, Bad Dreams Part 2, and possibly followed by The Last Trumpet. This is Lyrics Born, San Francisco. Is that right? San Francisco. Bay Area. We'll say Bay Area. He might be East Bay. But Bay Area's Lyrics Born. Oh. Lying and Playing Over You. This is Over You by Lyrics Born. Oh, I was talking about, again, some of those trends, like what is a all banger record, or what is an all skip record, or like some of the trends that just circulate over and over and over. Oh shit, I haven't played Macklemore yet. No one even called me out. Okay, I'm playing Macklemore next. Mariners aren't going to lose because of me. But yeah, no, another one that's, well, two that are popular I see a lot is, what is a celebrity death that you're still not over? There's clickbait, and then there's comment bait, like what people are just going to respond to. I love deep cuts, but they post a lot of that kind of stuff. They also like and respond to many of the comments, and that's another thing you can do if you're going to create like these chains where it's just like, so what's a celebrity death, or what's a character death you never got over? And I can do mine for both of those. River Phoenix, like that's always the first one that comes to mind when people say that. But yeah, River Phoenix, Kurt Cobain, Chester Bennington, Pete Shelley, Iris Apfel, but she was 102. Oh, and then what's a character death you never got over? Gary. Gary from 30 something. Gary threw me because I didn't think they would do that to a regular character in the 4th season, and I literally, it actually, I now look at this, my burgeoning labor politics, I worried for the actor, who I'm assuming, but to this day I don't know, was paid for the entire season and appeared in subsequent episodes as a ghost or a apparition, whether real or imagined by characters, in what we now know and even come to expect. No one was surprised when Pedro Pascal, spoilers, season 2 spoilers, Last of Us, when that happened, and then that other thing happened. He and then came back because flashback or whatever. The flashback to bring back the actor, beloved actor whose character you killed off, is any show can do that at any time, and that's awesome. And 30 something was one of the first ones to do it. But it was the 4th and final season. We didn't know it was the final season, but we also kind of did. 30 something had been hanging on by a thread so the entire time you always thought it was the final season. This is Shake It Off Bad Dreams Part 2. And the other thing is, if you don't watch 30 something, which you probably have no idea what I'm talking about at all. 30 something was a Emmy award winning show. It was one of the most popular shows in the 80s, almost completely forgotten now. It's kind of wild how that can happen. Like, it was like on the cover of magazines, and Annie Leibovitz was like photographing them because they were like that, the cast was like that level. But throughout so 30 something was a show about 2 married couples with children and their 3 single friends. Throughout most of the show, Gary was not a fuck up. I mean, he was a college professor and he was doing fine for himself, but he was single. He was he rode a bike, and where the rest of them had cars. He was just unserious and not. He didn't feel like a fully formed adult like the other ones. Him and Melissa feel like, again, it was a purposeful dichotomy on 30 something were the married couples versus their single friends. And actually, the least realistic thing, now that I think about it, of 30 something is the fact that married couples had single friends and they all stayed friends after. That was, and they all stayed friends, period. The point being, by the 4th season, Gary was now married with a child, and that's when they, again, 30-year-old spoiler, killed him off. What's a TV show character death that you're still not over? It will always be Gary from 30 something for me, but there are others. But everyone since Gary prepared me for everyone since that one, including the fact that I was like, don't relax, that actor will be back, and you don't have to worry about their paycheck. Like, I now know, I can't speak for, I actually never found out about Peter Horton on 30 something, but generally if they were hired for the season and then their character gets killed off, they still get paid for the season, which is often actually why it becomes obligatory that they do a flashback or something, because they're still paying that person. They're going to get what that value out of that person before the end of the season. Oh, and then the flip side, I guess, is Dexter. Spoilers. He ended up a family individual. Oh, it's always about the family. And then not. And that was surprising to me. Oh, there were actually a lot of deaths on Dexter that were surprising to me. Because they're different from the books, and I had read the books. Which are... I don't want to straight up say racist, but the source material is... that's an author who, if they ever went like full J.K. Rowling and started like spouting off a bunch of beliefs because they're rich enough that they don't need whatever... I think they still need Dexter money, because I don't think the person who wrote the novels that Dexter is based on makes enough money. But if they ever make J.K. Rowling money, I would not be surprised if the author of Dexter came out with a bunch of fucked up shit. The books are filled with a bunch of... I'll just say characterizations that are broad. The Who coming to Seattle. Oh, I think they already played Seattle. The Who's are allegedly on their final tour. Catch them if you can. That's a different band. This is Squeezebox by The Who. Off of Star Trek in 76. Is this Ronco? A Ronco. Shout out to Ron Popeil. Oh, we're into tech news, and it's actually, we're starting off with an interesting one, and then we'll move into others. Microsoft cut some services to Israeli military. And a move that comes as more countries, including the UK, recognize Palestine's existence. New Zealand. Oh, I think this is supposed to be international. Somehow it's like tech news / internet. This probably should have been like way at the beginning of the show. Also, I'm going to go to the phone again, and it's like going to be like the reset where we go through like top stories and entertainment. I don't have a lot of entertainment and then tech news and health news and all that. But then I have to go to the phone, and it's going to be the same thing again. It's kind of like a part 2 within an episode. I don't know how to describe these current batch of episodes where it's like from the notes, the paper notes, but also from the phone. New Zealand considering rescinding U.S. safe travel. Basically, warning New Zealanders that the United States is not a country that is safe to travel, and possibly just some New Zealanders, i.e. demographic groups for whom it's probably not safe to be here in the United States anymore, but it wouldn't be the first time, so let's hope for the best. I already talked about this one. So Grok is now being utilized by the federal government. It is at a cost of 42 cents per year per agency. Which is an apparent reference to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they said at some point 42 is the answer to everything. Gemini is already being utilized, so yeah, we're now multiple, and I don't know what. Yeah, no, I guess I don't know who's making these deals for 47 cents a year per agency, and again, 47. I'll let you, for obvious reasons. Oh. This is Greg Allman with Midnight Rider. If I get it right, let's see. I believe this is the end of Sideshow by Blue Magic. Yep. This is Greg Allman with Midnight Rider. In other tech news, Trump seamlessly signs executive order to hand TikTok over to his pal and donor and economic supporter, Larry Ellison, in what many people described as a silver platter. I had originally said I don't think people care on TikTok. I did actually find the part of TikTok that care, but it's fewer and farther between, and you have to like seek it out. You really have to seek it out. Hold on. I have a lot to say about this, but my notes are all mixed. For those who don't know, people have been predicting this for a while. Oracle, Larry Ellison's Oracle, via something called Project Texas, has already held all U.S. TikTok data since I want to say 2023 or something like that. So basically, a big piece of it had already been handed to them. You may know Larry Ellison's son, David, as the owner of Skydance, which just recently acquired Paramount. And also it has their eye on Warner Brothers Discovery. You're like, this all sounds like a monopoly, controlling all our media and social media. Larry Ellison and David Ellison are different people, and so that's not, that legally, from a legal perspective, that's not how monopolies work, even though one family consolidating all media and social media and significant social media control into one thing is probably concerning. It is left to be seen whether there will be a mass exodus from TikTok. I suspect there will be a lot of talk about it and no action. A lot of posts about they will generate a lot of content about leaving TikTok without ever actually doing so, just like they did on Twitter. I think that's what it's called now. I don't know. I haven't used it in a while. This is Ramblin' Man by the Allman Brothers. That was Midnight Rider by Greg Allman. In any event, Trump was meeting with. Is he meeting with Xi? Someone in. Is he going to China? I don't know. There's a meeting to discuss this. I'm assuming, among other things. Um, so we don't even know. Every time they said they had a deal, he just ends up signing an executive order to extend the use of. They can't make the deal, and it sounds like the whole thing about the algorithm. If the whole thing was American security and safety and the security of our data, ByteDance will retain partial ownership and control of the algorithm. That was the concerning part. This algorithm could be used to push Chinese propaganda. This algorithm could be used to blah blah blah. But the algorithm's not changing. All that's changing is Larry Ellison will now make money off of it. I mean, that's all. More money. He already does. More money off of this. Oh, but I do have screenshots of this, and I just want to... Hold on. Down on the bio wall, Delta women think about me. Alright, here are some of the brands and companies that David Ellison controls as part of Skydance, Paramount, etc. BET. And by the way, BET has always been owned by white people, at least in part. It was founded by black people and white people. So anytime it's like, they have their own media, it's so racist. Because people are still saying that in 2025, decades after BET was founded. It was founded by a white man. And no one's stopping you from watching it. You just don't want to, obviously. Just like Pride events. No one would let you. If you showed up in, like, your gear, you might get looks. But even then, I don't think, well, it depends on what gear and what it said. If you showed up in hateful gear, you'd get kicked out of Pride. If you showed up in, just gear that suggests a political perspective, a political perspective rooted in the eradication of people's existence, yeah, you'd get kicked out of Pride. But if you showed up just dressed as a normal person, you don't even have to dress up in, like, Pride, just dressed as a normal person and shut the fuck up, you would be welcome at Pride. No one's excluding you from Pride, as they insist now that they're being... you're welcome, as long as you shut the fuck up for 2 hours. That was Ramblin' Man by the Almond Boys. And the same is true of BET. It's not a place, as you insist for decades, because you've been making these same arguments for decades. That's the wild part. To people who fall for it, going, oh my gosh, they're right. They're right. Making the same... How dare they have a media just for them? It's not. It's a media... It's a channel of many, many that has a theme, and that theme is black content. Anyone can watch it, just like any channel. Your arguments are specious. Anyway, yeah, starting with they own BET. They own BET now, y'all. The Ellisons, the Trump-supporting Ellisons own BET now, y'all. So make of that what you will. Make of those conferences and whether you want to show up to them, make of that what you will. CBS, CBS News, CBS Sports, Chile Vision, CMT, Comedy Central, MTV, Network 10, Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., Paramount Plus, Paramount Network, Paramount Pictures, Pluto TV, Pop, Showtime, Skydance Animation, Skydance Sports, Smithsonian Channel. Meanwhile, Trump's like trying to ban like everything in the Smithsonian. Telefif, which sounds like Telefe. Yeah, no, okay. TV Land. Oh, well, they own Nick and Nick Jr., so of course they own TV Land. 10 Drama, 10 Comedy, I don't know what those are. And then, if he were to acquire, this is David Ellison, the son, who currently owns Skydance Paramount, which I believe is now officially, that merger has gone through, or is going through. And this is the courtesy of Elsbeth Dissents, by the way. These lists, well, they did the research, it's not my research. And these are who they would own if they bought if they if the merger with Warner Bros. Because they're merging right now. They want to control all the media. I mean, we are fast towards a state-run media. Like we're fast-tracked towards that. But if having just merged, because monopoly and antitrust laws no longer exist, they merge again with Warner Brothers Discovery, they would also control Discovery Channel, HGTV, Food Network, TLC. TLC doesn't stand for the Learning Channel anymore. I don't know why you put that in parentheses, because literally it doesn't stand for that anymore. It's like KFC. KFC no longer stands for anything. It's just, that is, the name of the company is KFC, and what those letters stand for is anyone's guess in the future, because it doesn't stand for Kansas Fried Chicken, which I used to go to on 125th. That was the shit to go to. Kansas Fried Chicken with its own like red and striped awning, but they were like, we spaced the lines different, so it's okay. Remember the red and stripe? Oh no, I guess the red and stripe. The red and white stripes is still the thing. Investigation Discovery, Animal Planet, Travel Channel, HBO, CNN, TBS. I like how they included. Oh yeah, no. TBS, TNT, True TV, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Turner Classics, Discovery Plus, HBO Max, etc. We're definitely going to play something off of Television City Dream. This is My Own World, followed by Outside of You. No, I'm on the wrong side, for sure. I'm definitely on the wrong side. Okay, this is My Own World, followed by Outside of You. Arf, 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 arf. I know why I felt like that needed barks. That actually attracted my dog. We're good, bro. Say jump. You ask how high. Well, we already moved into tech news, but like I said, my notes were slightly out of order. Again, it turns out people do care about, and yeah, no, while you can still search Larry Ellison on TikTok and see quite a lot of negative commentary, but like I said, while you can, I wouldn't say no one cares on TikTok, but yeah, a lot of the focus is on, yeah, no, I'm seeing a lot of reenacting cat diaper baby videos. Like those are actually pretty funny. Like people putting full on like the costumes. If it's a cat, it's not blackface, right? Is Outside of You. But live action people reenacting AI is like the funniest. I don't know why it's actually very funny. And then those cat o' nine-tailed plushie, is that a real thing, or is that like, I feel like that I'm just being targeted, but oh, this is unconfirmed. Unconfirmed. Is that explaining things through song? Is that AI? I would be so disappointed. I need to research that. But I will be so disappointed and mad and not at all surprised. I'm like, oh, of course it's AI. Like, I just started following another AI content creator who posts like, can you tell the real from the fake? Nope, not anymore. No, like just like 2 months ago, I was like, I can. I am confident I can. Nope. Is Pets by Porno for Pyros. Again, no refunds, no returns. Apologies. It's a picture disc. It does. Okay, that's not the one. Oh, that's weird. I feel like I now have 4 options, and that's weird. That doesn't seem right. Okay. Okay, that's. This isn't even okay. So is this like a bonus track? Oh. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. This is Porno for Pyros with Tonight. Curse Female, Curse Male is a medley? Okay. There are apparently songs on this I've never played, and we're listening to them right now. I thought the B-side was the same as the A-side. That seems to be a recent trend. Like, and some of these I've owned for they're not. Are you new? No, this record is not new to my collection. So I mentioned it, but here we are talking about it. The Amazon $2.5 billion settlement with the FTC. About $1.1 billion of that will go directly to the government as fines. It is among the largest It is the second largest consumer restitution obtained by the FTC and among the largest in history. Again, we talked about dark patterns. Most of this involves the inability to, perform certain functions on Amazon without basically accidentally subscribing to Prime because they made it, and then further the inability to unsubscribe because they made it very easy to subscribe accidentally and then very hard to unsubscribe intentionally. So like I said, 1.1 billion will go to the federal government in by way of fines, and I'm sure that will all go to the Trump legal fund. But 1.5 billion, or what, slightly less, will go to consumers directly, who they're estimating will get $550 each. So if you had Prime during a bunch of hours, expect a $550 check. And if you don't get that $550 check, you probably have to jump through a bunch of fucking hoops, like a dark fucking pattern, just to get the $550 you shouldn't have been ripped off of anyway. This is Pets by Porno for Pyros. Album version. McDonald's in Australia is now offering Labubu size accessories in a tie-in that's not officially like Labubu, but it's or maybe it is. It's not a blind box. It says right on the side of the box what you're getting. However, there are 16 different items and they're spreading them out. You can get 3 per week, I guess. So that's kind of old school. That's and the influencer I saw explaining this was like, I'm glad my wife explained to me, it's not a blind box. It's not all 16. He's like, I was about to buy 30 of them, but there would have been 30 of the same 3, and he would have just gotten whatever, a random assortment of those 3 only, because but he had like blind box mentality, and she's like, no, it says it right on the side of the box which one you're getting. We're going to go from national news straight into local news because it's all tied together. Starbucks begins laying off 900 employees nationwide. I don't know why I say laying off, firing without cause because they did nothing wrong, and closing stores, including the Starbucks Roastery. You know that thing that is absolutely profitable and a worldwide famous destination that people show up for, and you're like, no, I don't. Okay, it's not that famous, but Seattleites seem to think it really, really is. People do come from other parts of the country, or if people are coming from other parts of the country and they're begrudgingly, for whatever reason, have to come to Seattle, like, well, can we go to that roastery thing? I heard about it. It is something people have heard about outside of this state. There are only 6 in the world. They closed it relatively without warning, boarded it up. It was like literally boarded it up. Hannah Krieg of The Burner was the first to break this for me. Also talking about the gay bucks, and we all know which one was the gay bucks. And then the first Starbucks store, which is not the Pike place, but the first Starbucks store, which were also closed. Well, in the case of the gay bucks, they blamed crime, and I was like, oh, but the roastery's just down the block. Are you telling me those are different customers from the roastery? The roastery's official statement even mentioned, like, people just down the block. I'm like, oh, the same people who now have to go to the roastery because you closed the Starbucks because of crime, but it's the same neighborhood. That being said, I'm assuming at some point they're going to blame crime for why they closed this one too. it's union busting. It is. What do those three stores, the Gay Bucks, the first Starbucks, and the Roastery have in common? Efforts to unionize. That's what they have in common. It's union busting. It's straight up union busting, and it's disgusting. Other people who may be less informed are like, the employees were as surprised as anyone else. They didn't inform the employee. I guess I don't know, maybe they informed the employees last night, like, don't come in tomorrow, but they didn't inform the employees particularly sooner than they informed the general public. However, the employees weren't surprised because they cut off union talk several weeks ago. So, yeah, they weren't actually surprised. And if you're reporting that, that's misinformation. If you're reporting it on purpose, it's disinformation, but I'm assuming it's not. But for real, though, from what I'm hearing, I don't know what you heard or who you talked to, but from what I'm hearing, the employees were not surprised. Because it's straight up union busting. We're going to listen to... This is 10,000 Hours by Macklemore. When in doubt, play track 1, side 1. I will be playing Macklemore every day until the Mariners either win or... Well, there's no other option. Until the Mariners win the pennant. That's the wrong speed. And just as a reminder, Starbucks rather than actually meeting union demands and or protecting their employees, they capitulated to bullies. We've seen the viral videos of you throwing drinks in our stores. And congratulations, you win, bullies. Now we will be returning to writing names on cups, including specifically named in the memo. I know people who've gotten lower than that. And it's not an automatic red flag, but it sometimes it should be. Allegedly. I never actually saw their SAT scores. I was like, oh, okay. I got 1050 on my SATs the first time, and I took it again, and I got 1150. What's weird is I scored better on math both times, and I suck at math. I still don't understand. I kind of just want to take the SAT now. Like, can you just take it? Like, can anyone just, like, is there, are there adult testing sites? Because I don't want to show up in a classroom with children, but I want to take it under proctored. I want to know, how would I do with the SATs at 50 years old? Yeah, but again, only 6 in the world. by all accounts, profitable. Name that song. Some people could name it just from those two. Excuse me. This is Rockwell with somebody watching me off of. No, that's why I call Halloween. I might play Dragula. Let me know if in the comments if you think I should or not. If you think I should have or not, and if you prefer Dragula to whatever I play next. If it's not Dragula. Is the end of Nightmare on My Street by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the French Prince. Off of Now That's What I Call Halloween. This is Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell. And I think we all know the lore now. Oh, me, when I don't play solo Michael Jackson. Rockwell is Quincy Jones's son. Is that right? Am I making that up? Me, when I'm making shit up. And Michael Jackson absolutely sings the chorus on this. And or I'm not. I'm spreading urban legends. Let's look it up. Let's not spread urban legends. Let's look it up. Everything is easy. Google is free. Everything you just said is easily Googleable and wrong. Yes, Michael Jackson. Yeah, no, the official overview, providing an uncredited background vocal and part of the chorus. Part of the chorus. Oh, here's a picture of Michael Jackson and Rockwell together. Like, yeah. Son of Barry Gordy, not Quincy Jones. My bad. Son of Motown Records founder Barry Gordy. allowing him to establish his own identity. But why would you not just use the feature, like featuring Michael Jackson? It doesn't matter. It was a hit. So Barry Gordy engineered that either way. But I don't believe the official story. I think they were just A/B testing Michael Jackson's talent and proved you don't even have to attach the name or the image to it. It's going to be a hit. I am going to play Dragula, actually, I'm going to play the Halloween theme by John Carpenter, followed by Rob Zombie's Dragula, followed by St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and Chorus with O Fortuna. Yeah, no, re-upping my commitment to playing like more classical music, more, yeah. Oh. This is a Monster Mash. I'm just going to play it out. This is Boris Pickett and this is Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kickers with the original. What? Consensually, I hope. But no, I'm sorry. Starbucks supporting bullies over their own employees, that's Target all over again. And it's, oh, you're going to behave badly in our stores? We will accommodate you. Thank you. We want your money. Oh, you're going to sue us? We will accommodate. Oh, you're going to sue it? Wait, you're going to sue us more? Like, see how conceding works out for you. Mash good. I don't play the original very often. I usually play the Kids of Whidbey Island off of the Dr. Demento record version of the Monster Mash because that's just such a good version. Alright, this is Dragula by that guy. Oh my god. It is not. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Oh, because I'm on the wrong side. Did these get put? No, they didn't. I just grabbed the wrong record. Oh, as always, me. Blaming someone else for user error. You know how we all do. This is John Carpenter with Halloween. Oh, actually, I'll save that for a future episode. This is Oh Fortuna. We're gonna skip it. Is the end of Dragula. Again, this is O Fortuna, a popular sound on the internets right now, on the dem interwebs. I always joke about this. Yeah, no, if I looked at this art now, I'd be like AI generated, but it definitely wasn't. It's like, you know, there's a difference between AI generated and just like Photoshop, right? Like, because people are losing the thread of that plot too. They're accusing like everything being AI generated, and then also missing completely what is actually we're fucked. We're cooked. But yeah, no, that looks, those bats, I don't know what about those bats look distinctly AI. Those don't even look like bats. They look wrong, but that's just a graphic designer being lazy. They're not, it's not, okay, anyway. But also, a graphic designer being lazy in 2025 means using AI. So, yeah, I get it. This Carousel by Blink-182 off of Buddha. I like Carousel. That excuse me, in will she or won't she news, the 10-year contract for the private company that runs the Northwest Detention Center is up next month. We're into local news. Will they renew that contract? There have been at least two suspicious deaths at the. Sorry, we're listening to Carousel by Blink-182 off of Buddha. Yeah, no, I'm bopping along to Blink-182 because it's such a peppy, upbeat song. However, we're talking about a detention center, an ICE detention center that is up for contract renewal. There have been at least two documented deaths in January 2018 and March of 2024. Documented suspicious deaths. There have been other deaths, but those are the ones that have called attention to themselves. Yeah, a death in January of 2018, and then again just in March of 2024. Do you think they should renew the contract? This is Girl Next Door, which is a Screeching Weasel cover. That's the end of Toast and Bananas off of Buddha by Blink-182. We might just play. Yeah, I'm gonna play this out, and then I'll Yeah, no, and anyway, will she or won't she? They are not saying whether they've extended that contract or not. Do you think they should? Let me know. Yeah. In much better news, a new physical Barnes & Noble opened at South Hill Mall in Puyallup. There was a ribbon cutting. There were book signings. There was a terrifying giant llama. Like, if you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know. But they're wait. I was it was on my tiny little screen. I was like, jump scare. But it was a llama, and I was like, oh my gosh, this full on. This looks like the. I mean, it's cute, but it looks like the little girl in Squid Game that kills you. I can't believe. Yeah, no, this adult in a costume waving, not cute. That was creepy. No. Oh. So remembering the time I went to the Barnes & Noble at Northgate with my child to get an autograph from the Nuffle Bunny, and I'm pretty sure it was Nuffle Bunny 3, There are 3 of those, right? I love those books. If you're not familiar, they're about an attachment object. There are not enough books about that. Kevin Henkes has one. It's not Wembley Worried. Oh my gosh, which is the one about an attachment object can be a blanket or a stuffy or whatever. Nuffle Bunny is about a bunny named a stuffy named Nuffle Bunny. What I love about this series in particular is that it's set in Brooklyn and it combines illustrations over photography, and the photography is, I'm like, that's definitely Brooklyn. I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I waited online to meet not Kevin Henkes. Who does? Okay, I have to look it up. I'm like, is it even called Nuffle Bunny? Now that sounds weird because those aren't real words. We're getting towards our like bonus feature. Oh, maybe not. Okay, we're getting towards a break. This is Don't Go Away Mad. Just go away. By Motley Crue. Featuring St. Vince. This is obviously the end of She Goes Down. It's Motley Crue. What are you fucking expecting? Is it Dr. Feelgood is coming up next. Yeah, no. It's exciting to announce there's a new Barnes & Noble in South Hill. It's exciting to announce there's a new park in the U District Station Park at Brooklyn 43rd. And on Friday, they will have free salsa lessons starting at 5:30, and then a screening of In the Heights starting at dusk. This is the final week that Mopop is accepting applications for Sound Off 2026. If you are under 21 and a musician, a solo musician, or a group, go to the Mopop website and sign up. I am going to take a brief break, and then this girl don't go away mad, just go away. Seriously though. I will be right back, and then we'll play more tunes and read more news. I'm playing this out. What's that Daisy dog? Who doesn't love that Daisy dog? Like, Duke gets so much love. Karma gets it. Karma's currently, I don't know where Karma is actually. But Daisy doesn't get enough love. She's so sweet. This is Time for Change. This is like their political song or whatever. But also it's just so vague that that could mean anything. Like, it's not like... Alright, let's get back. Daisy dog. Daisy dog. Oh my gosh. Okay. Dog break. Motley Crue dog break. What's up? What's up, little doodle? Yeah, Daisy, where she's like, "How dare you stop petting me?" Are you thinking about getting down? You can get down at any time. You're not trapped here. We're listening to "Time for Change" by Motley Crue. What I love about this song is how it sounds anthemically like about making change, but it's really like it's not really about anything, huh? And it's also pretty repetitive. Some Tommy Lee drumming. There's little dog ears. Alright, we are gonna, okay. Alright, oh, Daisy's out. Okay. Are you looking for a way out? Can I help you? Alright. Alright, this knife is officially just dull. So this is the Bala song, and I use it a lot because I can actually use a Bala song, and I'm pretty proud of that, and it's like one of the... But what I realized was the blade is so dull, this is embarrassing. Like, okay, so I'm actually going to do what I just did, like blade side, and if I cut my fingers, I deserve it, because, no, I just did that, like, I don't know how to describe, I just did that blade side, and this is literally just a prop knife now, because it's not cut sharp enough to cut yourself. Like, what's the point of doing, like, knife tricks if you can't even cut yourself? Like, okay. Anyway, that was Time for Change by Motley Crue off of Dr. Feelgood. is Southall with Scared Scared Money. This goes out to every corporation in America being a pussy bitch right now. Just, who said that? That's, come on. Hell was nearly raising itself is a great line. This is Southall off of an eponymous or self-titled album. And it is autographed. I should actually put that in. I should. They all signed around their own name, but I only got one autograph. Like, yeah, I could have gotten all of them, but I only got one. And I'm pretty sure it's the drummer, but I might be making it up. Yahoo Entertainment, Jimmy Kimmel mocks Trump's reaction to his return on air, which drew 6.3 million viewers for ABC. Also, the 10 plus million who watched it on YouTube, and yeah. Don't worry about Jimmy. According to Deadline, stockholders threatening legal action. Disney shareholders want to know if improper political or affiliate pressures went into host's week-long suspension. KUOW, gimme my Jimmy. Seattle protesters condemn Como Sinclair's. There are probably people protesting out there right now, though it's a little bit late. But there are probably people protesting out there this evening because, as far as I know, Jimmy Kimmel is still not airing in Seattle, the market where he started on radio. He shouted us out on national television, only to say, "I won't be airing there tonight. Sorry, Seattle." But he knew we'd all see and repost the clips on the internet, which is how that works and why advertisers are so pissed at you, Como. We'll play this out. This is all I have. But again, gimme my Jimmy. It's not and was never about Jimmy Kimmel and shouldn't be now. I will continue to not be supporting Disney. You make your own choices. I don't tell people what to do. Maria Cantwell, Senator Maria Cantwell, and advertisers pressure Como to rethink what they're doing. It's not about Jimmy Kimmel. Katie Wilson vows to skip Como debate unless Jimmy Kimmel show returns. And as I previously reported, the mayoral candidates have a schedule of like 21 separate debates or events to like, she can skip yours, but don't skip mine. Mine's on October 9th at El Centro de Raza. It's not mine, but yeah, no, I will be there. And if you want to dox me or assassinate me or whatever, I will be there on October 9th at El Centro de Raza at 5:30, and as will the candidates, as well as at least one candidate for city attorney. Guess which one? And most of the candidates for the open city council seats. I know I'm really looking forward to that candidate forum, but as I learned from other organizers, there are like 21 different forums happening. And so Katie Wilson's like, I can skip yours. And as a reminder, ABC controls all the shit. Like, they control the sports, they control the award shows. Not ABC doesn't control the award shows by themselves, but if they happen to be airing any award show this year, and Jimmy Kimmel's the host, what are you gonna do? Like, we've been listening to South Hall. That was All I Have, and before that was Scared Money. Like I said, when I'm president, 18-point font is the smallest. You can't. Oh, all right. Oof, you don't talk over. Okay, how long is that track? All right. We're skipping Lenny Bruce, not because Lenny Bruce isn't awesome, but because talking over a spoken word track is hard. This doesn't feel right. Wait, I don't know what sound I'm on. Whatever we're playing, but it's off of this record. So if you like what you're hearing, you need to like find this. If you want to sample it for your like rap album or whatever. I'm actually really digging this. It's not what I was planning to play. Yeah. Holy shit. It's not what I was planning to play at all, but this episode brought to you by Duct Tape and Bubblegum. Yeah, again. And then, of course, is according to Cairo, Katie Wilson vows to skip Como debate unless Jimmy Kimmel show returns. And again, it's not about Jimmy. It's about free speech. Though all the memes and completely separate from all the Rapture memes and jokes and all that. And all the Tylenol, my mom took Tylenol memes and jokes, and again, yeah, no, it's not about Jimmy Kimmel. Where was I going with that? Okay, I lost it. I mean, basically just that. It's not about... an individual candidate. Okay, it's not about Jimmy Kimmel. Alright, we're gonna try a couple things. We're gonna try a couple things. Okay, this is an actual unboxing. Well, we previously unboxed it, but this is the actual opening of the record. I just used my fingernail because, as we've discovered, my balisong is like completely like. And actually, what's funny is I just got a ad from. So this is the Absolute Treasures Rocky Horror Show, the complete soundtrack, which I guess has never been available on vinyl previously. But I don't think I'm going to play anything that hasn't already... Oh, Planet Hot Dog. Fuck. Are these even full songs? Because this is what I paid for. Let's find out. All right, this is side 4. Oh, that was, oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's what I thought. Wait. Okay, this is Eddie, which is what I always, this is my favorite song. And then these are 2 songs that are not previously on the soundtrack, I think. This definitely isn't on other versions of. Holy shit! I mean, the video is the movie is available, but I'm like, I've never heard this on a vinyl. That's true. Oh, that's so wild. '50th anniversary of Rocky Horror. It's exactly as old as I am. We're both 50. And we're both still cool, right? I can't believe this was never on vinyl before, and I can't believe I listened to the soundtrack, including Back and Forth to England, when I went to see the live play, and I didn't even notice these weren't on the soundtrack. Oh, well, no, I did. I was like, this is missing songs. I knew that, but I didn't know which ones. Those were them. All right, that okay. Side. Not the artery, but the vein. Shame, shame, shame. This is Eddie. Shoe bop, shoe bop. Yay, porn. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Yay, junk. Yay, punks. What a made you cry, and I did. What's it say? What's it say? Oh my god. Meatloaf voiceover in this song is the original Gary Dye. Yeah. Und I die. All right, this is another. Yeah, no, this is back-to-back unboxings. This is Bryce Vine. I don't know if you can tell. I'm wearing my Scream shirt. I got my Drew Barry, but I want more. This is Bryce Vine off of Carnival with Drew Barry. I'm so excited to play this. I haven't. Yeah, no, I haven't heard this song in years, and I haven't ever played this on this channel because I've never had it on vinyl. Oh, actually, I sometimes I play things that aren't on vinyl, so I can't prove that. I definitely haven't heard this song in years. I'm lying because I was like, when I ordered this, okay, I haven't heard this song in months. When I ordered it, I was like, wait, do I still love this song? And actually, something, yeah, so I heard it, and then I was like, wait, is this available on vinyl? And I looked it up, and it is. I think I bought this from Barnes and Noble. Shout out to the new Barnes and Noble in South Hill. I never finished that Knuffle Bunny story. The author, I can look it up. Anyway, there was a really long line. Mo Willems. I just got close, didn't get on the line, waved with my child, and Mo Willems waved back, and that's a very distinct memory. In fact, it's probably the last time I was at the Northgate Mall. Or inside the Northgate Mall. I've been at the Northgate Mall since then, but not inside. Speaking of unboxings, the Labubu, the Labubu of drugs. Remix. That was fun, and okay, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna play this out because I actually haven't. This is Deep in Shallow Water by Brace Vine. Take 2 Oreos and call me in the morning. The doctor's out. Wait. The doctor is in. I'm like, what's, it's. That was Deep Inside Shallow Water by Bryce Vine off of Carnival, preceded by Drew Barrymore. Oh, I have the Scream soundtrack, but I'm not. Yeah, that would have been the most logical thing to do now, but we'll do that later. It's Halloween. It's spooky season, so you can expect more like that. Dr. Drizzy Drag. Me.
This is dedicated to the niggas that was down from day one. Welcome to Death Row. Like we always do about this time.
Oh. Yeah. Content warning. Snoop Dogg. Fucking homophobic. I can't even. I don't know how to talk to children. Snoop Dogg. Yeah, then stay away from children. I got. No, I don't spit. But yeah, we can all do that. Motherfucker, he's just talking and talking and talking. This intro is fucking boring as shit as well. Like, let's just talk about this. Like, I'm not even. Yeah. We're skipping the intro. Well, I'm playing the intro, but it's all Snoop Dogg, and so fuck Snoop Dogg.
He's a penguin-looking motherfucker.
Me too. But I love Easy. Shout out to Easy always. Yeah, according to CNN, Attorney General Pam Bondi had reservations over charging James Comey, but they did it. We don't play that shit. Fuck Snoop Dogg. seriously, we literally just play that. We don't play that shit. Trump White House asks federal agencies to consider a mass fire. Yeah, no, we already talked about that. The mass firings they want, but there's no legal precedent for that, and there's a shutdown doesn't. Yeah, they're just trying to combine things into things. Homie, I heard you wanted an ice cream truck inside your ice cream truck, like whatever. And the ice cream truck that drives around my home, which I'm looking forward to being done for the season, plays the racist one, not the good, not the new one. And still we don't, no. It's a Dre track, but I forget how much it's. Oh yeah. We already talked about this. The Guardian: Trump signs executive order to transfer TikTok owner to buddy Larry Ellison. Yeah, and if you're interested in that, I did a whole in-depth discussion of that. But we're reaching up on the end of the episode. I'm gonna rob you in Compton and blast you in Miami. Yeah, no, I should have. All right, well, long-time Trump advisor departs White House at end of month. Taylor Budowitz. White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Communications and Personnel is set to leave the administration at the end of the month. For those celebrating and like, ha ha ha, high-level officials are leaving the sinking ship like rats. I mean, maybe. But also, we are reaching like the year where me when I was like, forgot I was playing not playing Snoop Dogg, and I'm fine with that. Okay, well. Am I gonna try to play? Let me write. Let's find out. Let's find out. Right, no, that was, yeah, okay. Anyway, for those who are celebrating, it's common, do your tour of duty at the White House, which is an infamously brutal environment, regardless of who's in charge. And if you can make it a year, most people take that that I worked at the White House and take it somewhere else in the private sector. It's not uncommon. but it's coming up on like, well, we're only at 9 months though. We'll see what happens in the next 3 months, and I will revisit my defending. But yeah, no, I don't defend Trump because I love Trump, or everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. But because, as much as I hate to admit it, and I don't agree with Trump on a lot of things, but the way the media covers him is mainstream media is sometimes fucked. Like, it's like, yeah, no, it's so gleeful on things that aren't even true, and then yeah, again, however you get your information, good luck, because I'm struggling to find the sources, the best sources, and the legal sources here in America, but it's getting harder. But yeah, no, if your media is telling you a narrative of LOL, high-level Trump supporter leaving, it's actually fairly common, especially earlier in the administration would have been suspicious, but now people start to and it doesn't even matter left, right, or indifferent. So, gotta rattle my Tylenol for justice. Violence against truth. Obama denounces Trump's Tylenol claims. Oh my gosh. I will buy everyone's empty Tylenol bottles for, to make shakers. Just FYI. Quote a price. I didn't censor the Snoop Dogg in this one. Obama calls Trump's Tylenol claims violence against the truth. Everyone's so creative. I have feelings and thoughts, but I need to go to bed probably. According to The Hill, a House Democrat has introduced articles of impeachment for RFK Jr., which, sure, but also, I don't think you have the votes to get that. But no, sure. No one can stop you from... The day niggas took over. I'ma play it out. I'm not going to play Snoop Dogg on this channel ever again. Oh, this is according to TC. Every time I'm like, what is that actually fucking the cooldown? TCD. Elon Musk sparks backlash after issuing 48-hour assignment to employees. This is due by noon on Thursday. Guess what it is? Guess what the order is. Prove your productivity. Prove what you've done. This is always the most ridiculous, ugly, top down. And I work in like lower. I talked about this. My supervisor has been my supervisor twice. She was promoted and became my supervisor. We were colleagues, and then I was promoted and we were colleagues, and then a different position opened up, and I actually remember I had an office. I used to have an office. I don't have an office anywhere anymore, but I used to have an office in a building, and we sat in my office and talked about, oh, actually, she was standing up and I was sitting, but we talked and basically talked it out, and she was like, I'm applying, and I was like, go for it. I'm not, for reasons. And now she's my boss. But the point being, we've been colleagues. We've had supervisee relationships. Why am I talking about this? Okay, I need to go to bed because I need to go to work tomorrow. Oh, well, one, she would never require me to prove my productivity. Yeah. I guess they're just. I guess my. Yeah. I don't know how I went from that to that, except there are lots of ways to. Requiring people to return to work because you don't know how to supervise them remotely tells me you don't know how to supervise the employees who are still remote, because you can't make all your. That doesn't even work in any corporation. Some of your employees will be remote. You don't know how to supervise them, and that's on you, not the employees. Asking employees to justify what they did in the last week, 30 days, whatever, tells me you don't have faith in their managers, because their managers should know. Like, whatever level you are doing this kind of bullshit, there's another level that you should be not doing this kind of bullshit, but should be reflecting on why you don't trust them. Not even the employee level that you're. I'm so tired. It's time to go to bed. Oh, nearly 25 people storm a California store, stealing $1 million worth of jewels. I mean, yeah, no, we're doing like flash mob robberies now. Like 25 people. Well, yeah, obviously it's going to overwhelm the store, but. Is that must have been coordinated online, but you're coming after me, right? Because I don't look the part that you want, and you think I'm Antifa, which. This is The Monster by Eminem featuring Rihanna off of Marshall Mathers 2. I'm probably going to end with Rap God. I'm probably going to end with Rap God. For those who want to be the Bruce Lee of Loose Leaf, be like water. The Bruce Lee exhibits continue at. There's, all literally every single note he wrote anyone at UW is on display at Wing Luke Museum. But seriously, like, don't do that. Like, don't do that. I already talked about this. Americans say this is okay, but this is the official report. Yahoo creators. Americans say tipping has gone too far as Californians now rank last in generosity. Not surprising, but I waited tables in California and it was a little brutal. New Mexico is there are lots of things. Smokers versus not smokers, though smoking sections don't exist anymore. Excuse me. So that's not even part of the debate. But I will say, regardless of how they treat you, right-wingers will tip exactly 10%. Like, they will tip what they believe is fair, and that's fine. Like, they will treat you like absolute dog shit, but then they'll tip, and you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting it at all. I'll take that meager tip. But again, my take, it's not required. Obviously, tips are never required unless it's a large party and gratted. And even then, I would take my chances. And I would do this at Crapplebee's, where I'd be like, no, uncheck that box. And I would let them know. This restaurant has a policy that allows me to grat you at 6 or more, and this party of 18, I am not going to apply it. And tip me what you will. And I took my chances, and that went both ways. People were just like, oh, great, tip you nothing. And then people are like, no, you're right. 6% is not. We made a huge mess. And yeah, no, it went both ways. But I always stood by my skills. I was a good server and bartender, and so yeah, no, like even like mandatory like grat fees, let me earn what I deserve, because I Ooh, rap god. Oh yeah, no, we already talked about this one. Starbucks closes 900 stores. I'm sorry. They did not close 900 stores. They're slashing 900 jobs and closing stores. Some stores, including the roastery, which by the way is profitable and a worldwide destination, but unfortunately working towards unionization, which they're not busting at all. You know I'm not going to end with this because I'm going to end with a 45, but DNA study of a 117-year-old woman reveals clues to long life. Yeah. My vision's getting blurry, so I don't know yet. I'll let you know in the morning tomorrow what those clues were. Oh, and then it was 831 Books is a okay. So two things. There's a romance store only bookstore, and I hope that's working out for you. And then 831 Stories, a romance fiction company. You know what they're doing? They're doing a couple things. Romance covers that don't look like romance covers. Events. Novellas It doesn't have to be 127 pages. It can be less. You can print a book. But they're serious. They're like a book you can read in an afternoon. I could have... Yeah. Fast part coming up. I'm going to close out with a, 45. But I don't know how many covers we've done. Okay. Heavy D and the boys. Fuck it. R slur. Yeah, me.
Eminem has a full line of chainsaws. Eminem.
Full line of chainsaws. I think that's actually true. I think I've been advertised Eminem chainsaws and been like, I like Eminem, but I don't need an Eminem chainsaw. We say we love covers, so we gotta always do the covers. There's all the small things, followed by damn it. That's not the right speed. Gen Champion. Carissa's Weird is playing November, I want to say, in at Public Records in New York. November 16th.
Surprises, let me know she cares. I will not go. Turn the lights off. Carry me home. Na 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 na.
This is Good Night. I guess this is Growing Up. Silly goose! You're such a silly goose. This is growing up. Good night.